Hey everyone, what's up? Harshit Yagi here. So you want to build AI agents, you want to automate your workflows, your processes, but you do not know how to code. With this tool, you'll be able to automate even complex tasks without writing even a single line of code. So AI is no longer about writing prompts and generating answers. We are now moving towards flow engineering. Now, flow engineering is basically whenever you have a complex task, which we usually do in real life, we break down that complex task into multiple smaller chunks where each chunk is responsible to solve a smaller problem. And then iteratively, we build the best answer. And that's why we are seeing so many agentic applications. And when we talk about the development ecosystem for developers, for coders, we have frameworks like LangChain where you can chain multiple components and you can build your agentic applications using LangGraph and Crew AI or AutoGen. But what about no code or low code platforms to automate our workflows, to automate our processes? So whenever we talk about workflow automation, the company or the tool that comes to mind is Zapier. But today I'm going to show you a tool that is much more flexible and is more capable than Zapier. Gumloop. Gumloop, which was previously Agent Hub, it's a no-code platform for building powerful AI automations. They started building last year only, and now they are backed by Y Combinator. The platform offers a simple drag and drop interface for creating reliable and intuitive AI-powered automations. And they basically started off by having a simple UI wrapper over an autonomous agent framework, which was called AutoGPT. And I have used this, I have played around with it, and I think this is flowcharts on steroids. Let's see what this is capable of. So I've been tinkering with different elements on their platform, and let me show you what you can accomplish here. So first of all, their documentation and the getting started guide is pretty simple, clear, and straightforward. And the learning curve is not steep. Took me hardly 10 minutes to start building. So basically, if you know how flowcharts work, you're done. There are primarily three terms that you have to understand. That's all. The three terms are, first of all, nodes. Nodes are the main building blocks. Any chunk, any problem that you want to automate, any task that you have, any integration that you want to do, that they have provided as a node. So if you want to write tweet, they have a node for it. If you want to generate an image, they have a node for it. So whenever you have a series of nodes connected together where the output of one is going into input of another, and there is some sort of logic which solves a bigger problem, that basically becomes a flow, a series of connected nodes to achieve some goal. And then we have subflows. So if you have a more complex task, a larger task to solve, so you can use subflows, other flows, smaller flows into that larger flow to keep it smaller, clear, and modular. All you need to know is how to use these nodes, which node to use and when. So the documentation is pretty good. They have provided all the details that you would need. Okay, when to use which particular node, what is the input, what is the output. All of these things are provided. Now, if you go down in the introduction section, this is again another important part that you should know. The standard format of a flow is, so whenever you're building any sort of pipeline, first layer is ingestion. So you'll ingest data, you will process the data. Then now that we have AI as well, so that process data goes into an AI system, an LLM, or any sort of image generation model, or whatever you want to do. Okay, so AI does its job on the process data, and then finally you would want to, maybe write a tweet, or maybe you'd want to generate a Google sheet out of it. Maybe you'd want to do something else. So that is where data writers come into picture. So when we're talking about ingestion, we are talking about data loaders. When we are talking about pre-processing the data, we're talking about data modifiers, combining, splitting text, okay, all sorts of different modifiers that you would need to process your data. They have provided it as a data modifier. And then AI, so there are multiple types of AI nodes. Summarizer, if you want to summarize something, if you want to ask any sort of question, so generate an image, extract key information, all of these tasks are actually provided as nodes under the using AI section. Okay, that's a type of node that they offer. And then lastly, data writers. So if you look at data writers, there are a bunch of these nodes. So if you want to generate a CSV to XLS6 converter, send an email notification, GitHub PR commenter, all of these, what is going to be the outward communication from this workflow, that comes into the data writers node. Now to get started, you should definitely check out their get started with templates section. So they have provided a bunch of templates where you'll get ideas about what type of workflows you can automate. So you can see lead backgrounds research, automated sales email, and there are a bunch of them. Okay, web scraping, software development, media news. They have provided, a good list of tasks and problems that you can solve and automate over here. So let's check out this automated sales emails template. This opens up the description. Okay, use AI to generate personalized sales email, and they've provided the key nodes that are being used here. Advanced website scraper, so they must be scraping some information from a website. Then they have some AI nodes and some summarizer node. So they have provided this option to use this template. So I can start using this. I can, build on top of it, or if you want to run this as it is, you can do that also. So this is our main canvas where the entire workflow or the flowchart basically is present. And if you see on the left hand side, I have this add a node. So this plus sign over here opens up the node library where all the different nodes are divided into these logical categories. Okay, so I have some core nodes present. There are some data loader nodes like file reader, Google Drive reader, etc. So ingestion, okay, data ingestion is supported via these tools, these platforms. Then I have this using AI nodes. So all the nodes, all the different types of tasks where AI is required, for example, summarizer, extract specific data, PDF reader, analyze image, or generate an image, AI browsing agent, scraping, all of those things are over here. So we can drag and drop all the different types of nodes that we would need. Finally, this is my flow library. If you have other flows listed, so it will show up over here. If you want some sort of trigger, all of your triggers are going to be present over here. So triggers are basically going to be, if an event happens, that's when this flow is going to be triggered. So those are going to be over here. And then this is the get help. This is great. And I have this run button at the top right. Clicking on this will start this workflow. So if you look at this workflow over here, they have this input, which is the URL, and the URL is going into an advanced website scraper. So the scraper would scrape the information from this page, scrape the website and summarize it with AI. So the summarizer, this is an AI node. This AI node is going to then summarize all the information from that scraped OpenAI about page. And then it goes into this ask AI node. So they have defined the prompt here. This writes an email. So using the website content as context, and we are asking GPT to write an email. Then once the email is written, then it goes into another AI node, which writes the subject for that email. And finally, we combine the body and the subject to generate the output. So we can then send with an email, send an email node as well. And if you want to run this, you click on run over here. So you can see about page URL, success, advanced website scraper, summarizer, etc. So on and so forth. And this is your email as well. And you look at the interface, this is very intuitive. At every step, you would know, where you've succeeded and where you've failed. The error handling, if at any point you encounter an error, that error is also very clear and you would know what is wrong, what you would need to change. So this got me excited. So I started building and automating some of my workflows that I wanted to test out. The first one is trending projects from GitHub. Okay, this was fairly simple. I just wanted to scrape all the content from the GitHub trending page. So if you see, I'm using this advanced website scraper node. Now this is a premium node. You could also use a website scraper node. Okay. Now there are a bunch of these premium labeled nodes as well, which provide more functionality, more advanced. They are more advanced. So they have these different pricing plans. If you go onto the pricing page, so there are these pricing labels. So free $0 per month, you can run 100 flows, and these premium nodes won't be available for you. I'm currently on the starter package to try this all out. So going back to our flow, I have used this advanced website scraper node from here. So this scrapes all the data, and I've run this as well over here. As you can see, I can check what was the input. So here there was no input. I provided it here itself, and you can check the intermediate step output as well. So this was all the data that was scraped from that particular page. So I got all of these repositories, but this data, as you can see, is not readable for me. So I wanted to extract data out of it. So I use this extract data node where I provided all the details and the info that I wanted to extract. So I mentioned that I want to extract title, I want to extract description, and the number of stars that repository has. So some additional context, and finally I ran it. So this generated title, description, and stars. If you see the output of the final extract data node, so this is a simple workflow that I wanted to test out with two nodes, scrape, and then finally extract the key information. So extracted so title, description, and stars for all the trending repositories under the Python section from GitHub. So that was one project. The second project was this stock market analysis. This again is fairly simple. Okay, so I have to provide some input stock symbol. So I provided Apple, Google, and Nvidia's stock symbols. You can also, input your entire Google sheet where you have all of these stock symbols as per your portfolio, and then it'll split the text. That means here these values are comma separated. So it'll split it around comma. Okay. And that's it. So once the data is split, once the text is split, so individual stock symbols are going to go over here. So I'm using this API from Alpha Vantage where you can extract data about a particular stock's pricing information. So I'm using that particular API. And once my link is generated, then I again pass it on to website scraper. The scraper gives me all the information, and the information goes into combined text. So I got the stock symbol from the split text and the response, the scraped information about that stock's pricing, etc. All those things. I combine it, pass it on to AI. I tell AI that give me the stock price information in the context. I've given you that. So please generate the content for a one-page PDF financial analysis report. I ask it to generate the report. I create a file out of it, and this basically gives me a final PDF over here. So if you see Apple PDF, Google PDF, Nvidia PDF, so the market reports are generated for me. Now, after the simple use cases, I wanted to take this one step ahead. So this time I wanted to automate my own process. So I wanted to automate YouTube itself. Now, in order to automate, my process is that if I want to create a video on a topic, okay, first thing that I'll do is I'll conduct some research. So I'll collect data on the different types of videos that are created on that particular topic. Okay. Once I get that data, then I'll write it somewhere so that I know which types of videos already exist on that topic. Once I have that, now I need to generate some idea out of it. And watching all the videos would be very difficult. So for that, what we do is, from all the URLs, from all the data that we have collected, I will scrape or maybe download the transcript of each of those videos. So I'll have text. I'll pass that text to an AI system, which will generate the idea for me. Once I have the idea with me, then I'll ask AI again to write the script or the outline for that video. Once I have the outline ready, then I can also generate a thumbnail. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do. Let's see what I've done over here. First of all, I've created a flow which is called YT data collection. So you can see that I have these different sheets over here. Just like in spreadsheets, you have sheets. Here also, I have different canvases, different flows. For each flow, I have a sheet over here. Okay. So let's see how I have done this. Okay. First of all, as you know, that I would capture the topic. The topic comes in the input. By default, I have provided it LangChain. Okay. And then the description of the topic, what that field actually means. Then I combine this text to prepare a formatted URL. Now, in order to collect data, YouTube provides APIs, search APIs. So if I provide a term, all the videos that have the terminology will show up. So they need that in a particular format. The URL needs to be in a particular format. So what I've done is the topic, the key term that I need to search for, I have added it as my input over here. Okay, so the curly braces basically denote the input one variable from here. And the URL basically is already provided by Google APIs. So that I captured over there. Once the URL is ready, then they have this call API node. I sent a GET request on the input URL, which I've already prepared. Then the API response, API would give me all the videos. I'll extract again the key information, title, description, publish that URL. Now, some of these things might not be available, but I still just wanted to, gather as much information as I could. Then you can see that I have title, description, publish that, URL, all of these things extracted. I created a Google Sheet. Okay, this is my YouTube research. It has the first row as the header row, and all the information is going to be written in this Google Sheet over here. So if you see, I am in the writer mode. So I'm going to add new rows over here. So all these rows are going to be added, or you can say write to column. So now each of these title is going to go into title column, publish that is going to go to publish that column, channel ID, so on and so forth. Okay, so I have provided the link to the sheet. Okay, so it'll write Google Sheet, and I have also generated a new file out of it. So I could have multiple output endpoints as well. So I created a CSV file, and I also gathered my information in a Google Sheet. So this is generate file. So to capture all the URLs, because for transcript, I only need URLs. So I only captured the URL. Okay, wrote it down in a CSV file over here, and that CSV file is generated as my output. So that is my outlet of this workflow. So this one, if I run this, it basically captures all this information. So you can see input success, call API success. Now I'm extracting the data. You have the file generated, urls.csv. If you go to Google Sheets, these are the videos on LangChain topic. Okay, and this is my first workflow, YT data collection. Now, the second workflow over here is going to read this Google Sheets. It is going to capture all the URLs. I have this get YouTube transcript node as well. It will go over each of those links and then extract the transcript. There will be 10 different transcripts. So there will be a list of 10 texts. So this is what list of text over here denotes. Now this list of text is going to go into this join list items. So if you see, this join list items node is a data modifier. I need to pre-process this data. Okay, so join a list of items into a single piece of text. Now I want to capture everything in one single long textual piece, which I'll give to my AI, my large language model, and ask it to generate ideas out of it. You could ask it to summarize it. You could ask it to do any sort of thing. So over here, once the text is generated from this join list items data modifier, then it goes into my AI where I provided the prompt. Okay, you can ask it to do anything. And then the Google Docs writer, the idea generation, as well as the outline, etc. All of these things is going to be written down in this Google Docs writer. Finally, we'll again ask AI, you are an expert prompt engineer. So based on the script that the system has generated, now I am going to generate a prompt to create the thumbnail for that particular video. So prompt is going to be generated by AI. Then I have this generate high quality image. So this is from DALL-E. Okay, they have integrated with DALL-E and they provide this using AI. I have this generate high quality image node as well, which is what I'm using over here. You can decide, you can choose whichever style you need, whichever quality you need, so on and so forth, and the format or the size, the pixels you can define. So let's say 1792 1024. If I run this, okay, save and run. Okay, I see there's some extra nodes here. Let's delete all these extra nodes. Okay, run this again. Flow started. You're going to read Google Sheets reader, data is collected, transcript is collected for all the videos. Okay, AI has done. So if you go to the Google Docs now, YouTube script, here you go. You have the YouTube script, revolutionize your AI apps, generative UI, and LangChain. Okay, so this is the idea. They've given us the video outline as well. And if I go back over here, the image right now is being generated for our video. And you see the image is being loaded and the image URL. Let's check out this image. this is the image that was generated by that node. So this could be the thumbnail. Obviously, there is scope for improvement. You could write better prompts. You could summarize it. So I just wanted to test the concept, and it works out really, really well. And I can see the potential here. Just need to fine tune a bunch of things, and this will, work out great. And lastly, we talked about subflows. Okay, so what are those? You see, we have the first row, YT data collection, script, and thumbnail generation. Now, these are two subflows, or you can say, individual flows that I have created. Let's combine them. So the main task was to automate YouTube. So I have this flow 6. I'll rename it. Okay, I'll call it, let's say, YT automation. Let's come over here. I have the input node. Okay, from where I take the user input, the topic, which goes into YT data collection. Then I run this subflow. You can see view subflow. If you click on this, you get to YT data collection. And then the output of YT data collection, which is the CSV file, the URLs, they are then taken into the script and thumbnail generation. So this is then invoked. So let's quickly run this. Now this is a larger task where I have subflows. So you can see how clean and simple it is. Now it is more modular. I have different subflows. So in order to automate a huge workflow, which is very complex, which with too many subflows, this is how we can combine them all together in a clean manner. Okay, so YT data collection subflow has run successfully. Then we have script and thumbnail generation in progress. All right, great. You can see the urls.csv is generated and the generated image is loading. You can check out the individual workflows as well to check out their output. So if you want to check the run from a particular subflow, you can go over there and check that out as well. So this is my YT automation over here, and you can see the output image link is also provided to us. And that's it. This is the image. This is the thumbnail that was created for us based on the script. And these were the URLs that were collected. So amazing, right? You could automate your entire process, your entire workflow with this intuitive UI. And this is one of those UI which I have really enjoyed. It was simple, it was intuitive, it was very easy to use. And I have had experience developing something similar on Zapier as well, which was very, very difficult. It kept on giving errors. The errors were not very clear. And here, even when I got error, I could very easily see, okay, what it means. For example, for some videos, transcripts could not be downloaded. So I had those sort of errors and I figured those out. All right, so this was great. I really enjoyed using this platform. And if you are, tinkering with the similar platforms, any UI wrappers, I know there are other tools like Make and a few others. But I personally think that this is by far the best experience when it comes to no code, automation. And they also allow you to run Python code and scripts through this tool, which is great. Gives you more options for automating custom workflows. So all in all, I really enjoyed using the tool. It was very easy to use, very intuitive, and I could get things building very, very quickly. On top of all this, they are pretty new in the system. They're still evolving. They've just started building. And if you have any custom request, any integration that you would want on the platform, you can send an email to their founders at founders@gumloop.com, and they'll build that integration for you. So they're pretty flexible at the moment. And if you want something specifically for your use case, they'll build it for you. So, yep, interesting times. I'm sure there are going to be many such platforms which are kind of like UI wrappers over autonomous agentic workflows. Let me know in the comments if you have found something better. I would really love to try that out as well. If you want to know how I figure out all of these tools, where you can learn more about such tools, projects, ideas, learning resources, etc., subscribe to my newsletter, High Signal AI, at highsignalai.substack.com, and you'll get your weekly dose of action-oriented insights from the world of AI directly in your inbox. All right. So if you found this video useful, again, consider liking, subscribe to the channel. That's the best way you can support me, and comment down below what other types of tools you have discovered which are helping you in real life, solving real problems. Okay. I'll get you in the next one. Until then, keep learning, keep building with AI.